Okay, YouTube, I'm making my first video on YouTube ever. I have a 2019 GMC AT4 and I'm going to be putting a jump seat into it. This video will apply to pretty much any 2019 forward to current, so 2021 is currently GMC half ton or the heavy duties as well, and it should work as well for the corresponding Chevy vehicles, the 1500s and the heavy duties. So just to show you, I've already actually taken everything apart. I just put it back in to demonstrate for the video. The AT4s only come with center console. I've got 4 kids and I want to be able to take my kids camping in my truck, and I need another seat. So it seems like when I was searching how to do this, that there's a lot of people trying to figure it out, and I figured I better make a video to help people, because I find that to be pretty nice when people have taken the time to do that. So I'm gonna jump right into it. So first thing you need to do to take the center console out is take 2 bolts out here. They're stars, the T50 size of the Torx. 2 in the front. You should have your seat all the way back to get to those. And then there's a panel that you need to take off, which is right here. So there's a bunch of clips. And there's also a T20 screw that comes in right over here, I believe. Maybe it's actually a hex, maybe that was it, but it comes right through, just on the driver's side, through this hole right there. Okay, so you got to take that out. There's a little cover over that. And then once you get that out, then there's going to be a bolt right down in here, which is a 18 millimeter hex, and that's the bolt for that. Okay, so you'll take those out. Same thing on the front. You do both the front on both sides. You have to do the front first, and then move your seat all the way forward. And when I get there, then I'll show you the back. Okay, so here in the back, now that I moved my seat forward, you got 2 more of those T50 bolts to take out. You do have to take out the back seat. Not take it out, but at least move it, because this bolt right here, which is another 18 millimeter hex, won't come out without it. It bangs into this right there. So you gotta, once those 4 are out, you can just kind of move that over, and you should be able to get to those bolts. Exact same thing on the other side. I've already taken off the back of this. I'll show you why later, but you don't have to do that to get it out. Okay, once all 4 of the 18 millimeter hex bolts are loose, you would think that you can get it out, but this is the AT4 trim, or one of the options is the, sorry, I gotta get this seat back out of the way. One of the options is the technology upgrade package or something, and it comes with the wireless charger, which is right there, and it comes with the subwoofer underneath the console, which did give me some problems, and so I wanted to talk about some of those things. So before you go pulling this off, it just pulls back. There's some clips right in here, and you just pull it backwards, and I'm not sure if it has this if it doesn't have the technology package with the charger, but back in here, once you get that panel off, I already took the subwoofer out, and part of it sat right here, but right up in here, that screw, and there's one on the other side, holds this thing, and that you have to unscrew those 2 screws. Once I get the center console out, you'll see why, but this is a cooling system for the charger, and you have to get those off. I didn't know that those were even there and I pulled them off and busted a couple things. I had to glue that back together actually. You can see some glue right there, but it actually worked pretty well. But that's the ductwork for the air conditioning and the air, and I had some holes in it because I pulled those off. So be careful and don't do that. But luckily shoe goo is a miracle glue and it fixed it up for me. Okay, so I've got the center console out now, and I just wanted to show you where some of these clips are. It literally just pulls, you know, straight back. You got to kind of, you know, pull pretty hard and hope that none of those clips break. But this is what I wanted to show you. So that charging pad has a cooling unit, and this is where it plugs in. I've taken all the electronics out of the center console, but this piece connects to that ductwork, and to give it constant cooling to that charger, and there's the other end of it. So that connects in, and then this is screwed onto the center console, but then the back parts of it here, those are screwed here. So if you try to pull that off and do what I did without undoing these two screws, then it will pull these off, and then you'll have some holes in your air conditioning and heating. So here's the subwoofer. I've just set it back in there. There's only 4 screws. There's little bolts on, you know, it's not quite all the way in, but there's 4 of these, one on each side, there and there, and then the other ones are right there, and then same on the other side. So you gotta just take those 4 out, and then you can take that out. Obviously there's some plugs and stuff to take out. Okay, I'm gonna set this back here, and then I want to show you, because the other thing you have to do to get the center console out is unplug the harness, which is right underneath the chair on the passenger side. It's easier to get it from the passenger side, but I can't get my hands over to the controls right now. But there's that duct I was talking about. So you got to undo those screws, or you'll bust these off. One on the other side too. Okay, and then if you have the technology package with the subwoofer, then you got a nice hole in your floor. So I'll show you. I got a WeatherTech floor liner. The ones that come, you know, with the truck come up to right here and stop, and then the center console covers the rest. Well, I don't want a hole in my floor now that this is going to be open, so I got a WeatherTech, and I'll show you how that looks. The other thing I didn't mention is there's some trim right here that you have to take out. You just pop it up, and then that helps you move the seat. Okay, now I wanted to talk about some of the seat itself and kind of what I plan on doing with it, but also what things you'll be missing out on with the jump seat as far as electronics. So jump seat, you know, pretty basic, opens and closes, but there's different versions of it. I got the one that has the storage in the seat, and it locks, and then the seat itself has the seat belt built into it, and it's got the top storage as well. So some of them don't come with any storage, it's just the seat, and it kind of looks like that, but doesn't have any opening parts. It just has the cup holders and stuff. And then this one also has the USB ports in the back and the 110 volt old cigarette lighter type thing, and then the heating and air conditioning vents. So I've put this in the truck, I've plugged it in, everything works, and I've actually had it in the truck for a couple weeks bolted down. It's really easy, literally just set it in. It's got the 4 same bolts, and they line right up, and there's some it's easy to position it and just bolt it down, and it's in. I'll show you what it looks like when I get it there, but I'm going to do a few things to it because the center console has lots of electronics, and if you plug the jump seat in, I did want to show you this. There's the harness for it, and it plugs right into the truck and into the harness in the truck, and everything works. I didn't have to do anything, anything other than plug it in, and no rewiring or anything like that to get the electronics in the jump seat that it has to work. But you're missing out on a lot of electronics if you do the switch. I've taken the harness out, but there was USB ports in the back, the 110 volts, so that's all the same as what's in the jump seat. But then there were buttons for heated seats in the back that the jump seat doesn't have, and in the center console there was this right here. So the SD card for the navigation, which every time I turn my truck on without this in there, it has an error saying the SD card's been removed, which is kind of annoying. I don't really use the navigation much. I use my phone, but I still would like to have that so I don't have a warning light or warning come up every time. And then there's some charging ports and an auxiliary. That was just plugged right into that. This is just a button and a light for the center console, which is this. That's the light, and then this is just the button that pushes when you open and close the lid. This is the key fob programming thing, and it goes right underneath here. It's on the inside and it just clips off, but if you need to program a new key, that's what that is. The jump seat also does have one of those, I guess. It's right here. Oh no, it's in the bottom. There's a spot that you'd put a key in to reprogram it. But you'll be missing out on the SD card, the charging pad. So this goes underneath here, and that does wireless charging. And that was the USB ports for the back. And so there's a few things that I really want. I want the heated, I don't really care a ton about having heated seats in the back, but the truck has them. I want to be able to push those buttons and have my kids have heated seats if they want, I guess. But the SD card not being in there really drives me nuts, having that warning light pop on every time. So I am going to actually rewire my jump seat to have all of this stuff in it. Some of it's just going to be kind of underneath, but most of it's pretty easy to plug in. So like, I just need to have a flat surface, and that will clip in, so I can very easily take this jump seat and cut a hole through the floor and just pop that into it. There's the bottom, and so just cut a little square, and then I'll have that SD port pretty conveniently in my truck. So I'm going to do some of that stuff, but you may not want to do that. It's kind of, I was able to get it all out without damaging anything, so that the center console, I could all put it back in and it would still work, but I'm probably not going to do that. So just wanted to go over kind of what you'll be missing out on electronically if you make this switch, and I'll continue on. Okay, I just wanted to show you, I took the harness out of the jump seat, and then that other harness is the one from the console. So I took both of those out, and the one from the jump seat also has, this is to pair a new key to the truck. So it's exactly the same parts that are in the console, those two parts there. So I'm just gonna leave the ones, the ones that go in my truck, and put them into the jump seat. So I just wanted you to know that you can do that. The other thing I did was I cut a hole in the floor so that the jump seat's upside down right now, in the floor of the seat compartment that opens, so that I can put the SD card into that. So this is upside down, so this will be on the inside of the center, or of that area. And then the other thing I did was cut a hole here for the USB port that went into the center console, and that clicks into place and actually looks pretty nice. So I'm gonna get this all wired in and show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm about ready to put this in. I've got it all wired, so I just wanted to show you where the base of that comes out for the SD card. There's this plug here that goes to here, so that wire I'm going to have run underneath the WeatherTech mats, and there's also a missing piece of trim that I had to order, and I'll show you when I install that. And then the harness, so I'm on the passenger side, just goes down in through here, and then the other side of it, that's where it will plug into. And then the subwoofer, actually the cord for the subwoofer, just to show you, was separate. It's right down in here, so it does not connect to the center console. I'm not going to put the subwoofer back in, so I'm just leaving that down there. If I ever decide I do want to put it, I'll have to figure something else out, but I don't think I'll want it. The speakers sound fine without it. I'm not driving down the road banging the bass. This is the inside of that, just to show you. And lift this up, show you the backside wired for the SD card or the USB ports and the 110 volt, and that all plugged in nicely. Okay, I got it all put in there. Just wanted to show you what it looks like now. So basically everything in it works electronically. I've got a cord running on the floor here, and then that's the charging pad, and it's plugged in, so if I set my phone on it, it charges it. So I might rig it up somehow if I can make it look not tacky, even if I just keep it underneath the mat, but I don't want it to overheat, so I would need to figure out a way to get the air to it. But so I'll show you what this, I just want to show you this now that it's in, what things look like, and then I've got the WeatherTech mat to go in there to go over it, and then just show you what the seat looks like. You know, it's not a leather seat to match my leather, but actually got a quote to reupholster it for $300 to get matching leather and stitching. And so I'm going to probably do that in the future, but for now I'm going to test it out and see how I like it without the reupholstery. Actually, let me show you here. I did turn the engine on and got the SD port in there, and charging it, all that works. I don't get the warnings anymore, which is nice to not have that to worry about. And then it's got the storage there, and in the back, that's what it looks like now. And everything works, charges. So I'm gonna get the oh, actually, let me show you one more thing. So this is a piece of trim that goes right here, and I actually have to take this little piece of trim off that comes when you get the center console, and then this fits right up like that. So this is, I wrote it down because I know people always want to know the part number. It's called a lower panel, part number 8412762, and it was $25.69, but after shipping was expensive, so it was, after shipping and taxing, it was about $45.58, so $46, and that'll get put up there. And then one last thing is just when you get the truck with the center console, you get two pretty nice rubber mats, but they don't cover that central part where the center console covers. And so this is the WeatherTech floor liner for the front, so I'm going to put that in and show you what everything looks like. Okay, wanted to show everybody how it turned out. So we got our jump seat installed. I did want to say, just because I never said it at the beginning, I got the jump seat on eBay. They go, I've seen them, I watched for a while. There was a couple that sold for about 12, it was like between $1,200 and $1,300, and then another like $90 in shipping on a couple before I bought mine, and I got this one for $880 plus another $89 something for shipping, and then with taxes and stuff it was a little over $1,000 for the seat shipped. And the WeatherTech floor liner was like $250 with taxes and shipping about. But just want to show everybody. So seat is in there, and that's the pull tab for setting it down. So I've already showed you in here, but I put this back in. I'm not sure if I'll keep it in there or not, but there's the SD card, everything. I actually did play with the lock so that I can use my key that goes to the glove box, and it'll also lock and unlock the floor there. There's the WeatherTech. There's how it looks going over where that hole was in the center. And I just for now tucked this up underneath. I'm going to actually tape this or just cover it over because it blows constant cold air, and then I'll just tuck it back up there and you can't see it. There's that piece of trim, so I had to take that other little piece of trim off and put that one up. I gave you the part number on that. If you just Google with the part number, it'll come up with multiple GM part stores you can get it from. I don't think you can get the seats from the GM part stores. It's like you can only get it in like individual pieces, so your best bet's probably eBay. But yeah, that's how that all turned out from the front. Show you what it looks like with the seat down. Now you got your center console and storage and place to put your drinks in the cup holders, and yeah, a little bit of storage. It's not as nice a big storage space as the center console had, but it's nice to have that, and I like to rest my elbow over there, so it's nice to have that as well. And it's bolted into the floor. There's no airbags in the center, so I feel pretty safe having my kids sit there if we're on a family trip. And then here it is from the back. I kind of showed you this view already, but one thing just to show, it does kind of look a little funky with when the seat's back, to have like a storage unit and cup holders hanging back like that. But hey, it gives me a sixth seat, so I can take my whole family on trips. But yeah, it turned out really nice. I'm going to mount a little. I'm having a friend print me something that I can bolt in here, and then it'll have the electronics are just on the other side of here. All I have to do is plug them in for the heated seats. And so I made a little prototype for him to make that. But not everybody's got a friend with a 3D printer that's pretty good at it, so that will be something most people won't want to do. But I hope this video was helpful for everybody, and hope if you're looking at doing something like this, you can fit your whole family in your truck, then you find this helpful.